Hello, my name is Thalia Micah. Welcome to the Institute of Integrative Health Specialists. Today we have a special guest for you, Dr. Guangming Li. We are having a conversation about annotations of acupuncture sites. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. There are three kinds of words: monosyllabic, disyllabic, and multisyllabic. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned that in ancient times, most of the words are monosyllabic. Mm-hmm. And then nowadays, many words, common words, are disyllabic words. But also there are multisyllabic words or trisyllabic. In terms of in the case of acupuncture points names, mm-hmm. I think you use both forms, mm-hmm. Trisyllabic and also mm-hmm. disyllabic. Mm-hmm. Some words, from what I know, are not really trisyllabic, mm-hmm. Because you have a common morpheme, mm-hmm. 穴.
Shui. This one. Okay.
Yeah, this one. Right.
See, shui, X-U-E means blood for me. So when you said that, I'm like,
oh, yeah, but this is completely different.
This is different.
They're different. So, yeah. So, for all these the terms that you gave it to me have 3 syllables. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can say they are trisyllabic words. Okay. But they can be simplified mm-hmm. by dropping the last morpheme. Mm-hmm. But still, you understand. You understand, your patients understand, also your colleagues mm-hmm. understand, right? But there's another name mm-hmm. which you cannot simplify mm-hmm. Because that does not have the same morpheme mm-hmm. as others. Mm-hmm. Right. So let's have a look at the names. First one, 神庭穴, right? The second, 百会穴. Mm-hmm. The third, 印堂穴, mm-hmm. and then 山中穴. Mm-hmm. So you see, 神庭穴, 百会穴, 印堂穴, 山中穴. Mm-hmm. They have a common mm-hmm. morpheme, 穴. Mm-hmm. Okay. And 足三里 mm-hmm. doesn't have that. Mm-mm. Right? So 足三里is actually a trisyllabic word. Mm-hmm. You cannot drop any of those syllable.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's why it's not even in our book, the last syllable you mentioned, mm-hmm, the shui part, because it's not anywhere.
Yeah.
I just learned something new.
Right. Yeah, but actually that's what it means. It's a sort of simple, when you write down the acupuncture point mm-hmm. names, you want to make it a writing mm-hmm. as simple, as mm-hmm. easy as possible. Mm-hmm. You don't want to, because it's taken for granted.
Right.
So when we say, let's say, 神庭, in that context, you're not referring to anything else but mm-hmm. the acupuncture point. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
I have a question, though. So when we look at this, right? Mm-hmm. When we are looking at this, right? So mm-hmm. we are missing...
the last one.
In the pinyin word.
In the pinyin, yeah. Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that is very important. Otherwise, without the 穴, mm-hmm. 神庭 may mean other things.
Okay.
Yeah. Could you tell me why you chose these names?
So in a lot of treatments, when we do in school,
mm-hmm.
a lot of people come in for pain. A lot of people come in for stress, anxiety, like a lot of mental health, especially since after COVID. So usually, I like using these prints, especially Yen Tang, Do 24 and Do 20. Mm-hmm. I like to use them all together mm-hmm. because it's such like a very calming point. Starting like with Yen Tang, mm-hmm. once you mm-hmm. first do it, the person could be mid-conversation, mid-sentence, mm-hmm. and they go, and then when they stop talking, everybody just stop talking because it just calms people down mm-hmm. so much. Mm-hmm. But they have other, usage, but mm-hmm. usually we use them for mental, like a strong mental relief, anxiety. We would say like the Shen disturbance, we call it, which could mean encompasses so much more mm-hmm, than mm-hmm. just anxiety for mm-hmm. us in Chinese mm-hmm. medicine and acupuncture.
Okay. Actually, I think probably it would be more helpful for you to refer to or think about the functionality mm-hmm. of those acupuncture points mm-hmm. that you have learned. Also, maybe the anatomy of the human body.
Yes.
That you have studied. Okay, so here is what I think that might be helpful. Okay, first let's look at the common morpheme.
Okay.
穴.
Okay.
As you know, you can see that the character, right?
So this one
Yeah,
right here?
yeah. Actually, the meaning of this character means a hole in the ground.
Oh.
And especially the hole of some kind of animal, digging in the, in the ground. So here, this we call the 宝盖 top, 宝盖头. So this is a pictographic character. The top part in the in ancient writing, it as I symbolizes or depicts something cover on top, and these two strokes represents the hole in the ground, underground, something covered.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure you can imagine. The Chinese, the ancient Chinese doctors use these characters to refer to this point. It is something covered you don't see outside, but inside there's something.
Yeah, because this point is also good for your brain. It's good for, like, it makes sense why it's good for depression in my brain when I think about it, because people that are struggling with depression usually feel like a shot, like something is covering them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
'Cause, on the surface you don't see anything,
Right.
but underneath,
And they're dying inside. Yeah,
there's something,
so it
so they
makes
call it
sense.
sure. And also, actually, I just thought probably the acupuncture points is not a very or sufficient, maybe not sufficient enough English translation. Point meaning a point. It doesn't have the dimension of a depth or something like that. But the 穴, as a whole, and then some animal, some digging in the ground.
Right.
It has a depth. If you studied acupuncture, you know
So
that
the word
the
sites
depth,
make more sense to use as opposed to using acupuncture points.
Yeah, well, when
Yeah.
you use the needle, you have studied, right?
Yes.
There's a depth. The depth
Right.
matters,
Yeah, they do.
right? So really, this the 穴, it's not just okay, just I just chose a character.
Right.
There's a meaning behind the choice of this character to represent this concept.
Oh, wow. I'm just in awe. I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
because the depth of the needle matters.
It does matter.
And the hole, the animal dig the hole in the ground. It matters.
Right. Right.
Right. So on surface you don't see it. Right. Of course, yeah. So there's also nowadays 穴, the character also it is let's say the same. Also, it's the same as a 穴位. When we say 穴位, 位 means a position. That is more, sort of, if you translate it as an acupuncture point or position or site. That is a good translation, valid. Yeah, but
site is a more valid translation.
Yeah,
than
it's position. It's a position. It's a place. And also another word 穴道.
Okay.
Taoism, right?
Taoism, yeah.
Tao means a path, a road,
yeah,
right? So if at some point you read in Chinese literature, you see 穴道, you think it's the same as a 穴 or 穴位. Actually, it's not exactly the same. Dao means a path, channel, connection. It has that kind of connotation. So it's not exactly the same. But sometimes we use words of a similar meaning to refer the same thing, but the accuracy or the accurate meaning is more depends on the context, right? But when you write, when you talk, you want to be specific. Now we are talking about 穴, not 穴位. We're not talking about the site, the position. We're talking about that there's a hole, there's inside something, there's behind it. Then for your communication,
right,
to express the meaning, what you want to say, I think that would matter.
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
also when you think about the think about the 穴 rather than 穴位. 穴位 we say, oh, it's a point on on the skin,
Right.
right?
Right.
But when you think about the 穴, it's something.
Underneath
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
deeper than what the eye can actually see.
Yeah. So
So we should really name those points
神庭穴.
神庭穴
穴
to
yeah.
actually express what the character means
Yeah.
and to kind of like explain what it means.
Yeah.
It's not just a point, it's a
Yeah. Okay, yeah, as I mentioned, 神庭 may mean, may mean something else.
Yeah, yeah.
For for the conversation taking place outside the Chinese medicine practice. Okay.
because you said way means something else too.
Yeah,
when
I
we
mean
learn
path,
it,
road,
Position, weight.
position. Oh, way, yeah, 穴位, that means position.
穴位
yeah.
position, but they explain to us way that's where like the chi travels, closer underneath the skin. That's what they explain. We learn.
But
not in depth like you're explaining it.
Semantically, linguistically straight speaking,
yeah.
that means a point, way, position. Yeah. But when you say 穴,
穴位.
that's different. But when you say 穴位, because you add this way, so actually the actual meaning is not exactly the same as a 穴 by itself. Okay. So there's some kind of, people say, analytical linguistic sort of a perspective,
I'm just in awe. Yeah. No, I think what I'm admiring from what we're doing right now, it's like how much more meaningful that one point will mean to me when I acupuncture it. Now it makes sense to me that I need to use that point to help someone overcome depression or like those type of things, because I'm uprooting something that's deeper than what I can see, right? Allowing their body to be able to do it. It's just amazing. I think what we just kind of talked about was we talked about 3 points, and actually 4 points that has the shui in it, which kind of like would help us understand the meaning of those points, like do 24, which is Shen Teng Wei, Shen Ting Shui, and then Bai Wei Shui, and then we have Yan Tang Shui, and then we have the Shan Zhang Shui. So those 4 points, which are like very like really good points for like the Shen, we say, like to help people with the spirit, depression, and stuff like that. It's interesting to me that those 4 points have that word shui in it, which kind of like helps me understand, as I've said before, like what the meaning of those points. I feel like if I knew that before, I would have I can understand like why like in school my colleagues that are like that understand or read the language, they do a lot more better when it comes to like the spiritual aspects of it. And I wish those were explained in that kind of way to kind of help us, dive deeper into the meaning. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy.